Hey, this is Rob, and you're listening to the Hidden Destination podcast. Today is August 24th, 2024, and I am in Swan Lake Resort, Minnesota, just outside of Fergus Falls. And yeah, I'll recap yesterday's ride. Yesterday was a good day. Definitely did some higher mileage day. Did just under 76 miles with about 800 plus feet of climbing. So super flat day, and had a pretty auspicious tailwind. That was nice. And it was all rail trail, which was such a nice, refreshing change of pace, given all the roads that I've been on. So to have a complete day of rail trail was great. And one of the super cool things about rail trails is all the little towns that you pass through, because railroads frequently had to make these stops periodically throughout the different small towns that cropped up around them. There's a ton of really cool little historic towns that you pass through, particularly on rail trails, just more built up towns than on some of the rural back roads. So Sauk Center was where I recorded yesterday's podcast, and there was, what other cool town did I pass through? Alexandria. That was awesome. Kind of wish I had a bit more time to spend there. There was a nice bike shop that I popped into to grab some more chamois butter. Alex's bike shop, and then I swung into the post office there. That's where Claire had sent me my warm weather gear, and water filter and some other things, including a nice little gift of a PB&J bar, a Jones PB&J bar. It was delicious. I ate it immediately. So yeah, Alexandria was really cool. There was a couple of breweries there that I wouldn't have minded hitting, but you only have so much time in the day, and I had a bigger mileage day. So hopefully this evening in Fargo, I'll be able to spend some more time out and about doing touristy things. But yeah, yesterday was just a nice meditative ride. Just being on the rail trail was relaxing. It was good. I got to talk to my sister. That was nice. And it just, not being on the highways or on the roads just gives you more flexibility to kind of multitask too. I have my phone on my bars, so I'm able to do some research in terms of hotels and accommodations. And yeah, I'm in that vein. It's been pretty challenging to find accommodation up here, surprisingly. Campgrounds are a bit more few and far between than I was expecting. And yesterday, my plan was to camp at a city campground in, I forgot the name of the town, but it was like Dagoon Park or something. It was just outside of Fergus Falls. It was actually just north of here a little bit. And on their website, everything seemed to be a green light. But I did want to call to get more information in terms of rates and whatnot, because they didn't have like whether or not it was first come first serve or the reservation process. So I left a message at City Hall, and they called me back, and they were like, "Oh, this campground's closed for the season. We're renovating." So I was like, "Okay, well that's good to know." And then the other potential city campground that I was going to stay at did not have any indication that you could camp there. So in the morning, I had called Swan Lake Resort, which is a private campground, equidistant between the two aforementioned city campgrounds. And originally I had called and spoken to a guy called Jake. Previous to that, I had went on their website and everything was booked. Cabins, tent spots, both the primitive spots and the electrical spots. And so I was like, shoot, okay. So I decided to call just to double check, just to verify. And always pays to call. So I called Jake, and I did confirm the first time around that everything was booked. And then probably like 4 hours or so pass, and I'm still in a bind. That's after I received the call that the city campground was closed. And so I called back Swan Lake just to see if they had like cabins or like any other accommodation available aside from tent camping. And I had mentioned that I'm bike touring on the Northern Tier route, riding up to Fargo. And Jake was like, "Oh, why didn't you mention you're a cyclist?" He's like, "Yeah, we have some." He's like, "We could definitely make room for you." He's like, "We have kind of a space in our backyard behind the office that we allow folks to camp in who are sort of in a bind or like bike touring or whatever. So they definitely accommodate to cyclists, which is cool." And so he was like, "Just tell them that you're camping in the backyard tonight when you roll up. I might not be here, but Tom and his wife own the place. They're going to be here in the office until like pretty late at night. So let them know." And so when I rolled up about 6:30 or so, Jake was actually just leaving, and got to meet him. Super, super cool guy. And then he passed me off to Tom, who's, like I said, he's the owner. And him and his wife are just awesome, awesome, awesome people. So, yeah, I started setting up camp, and Tom comes in the back and he's like, "Hey, we're eating dinner. If you want some, we're having spaghetti. Happy to make you a plate." So I ended up eating dinner with him and his wife and their newborn out front, and it was A, delicious, and B, they're just such cool people. Tom and his wife are probably around my age, and they recently invested in, I think it was around the COVID time, bought this campground with some pretty solid bones to it, and this place is incredible. It's such a gem. It feels like summer camp for adults. It's got such a cool vibe to it. It's unlike any other campground that I've been to, and the ratings reflect that. So they have like a bunch of cool cabins, bunch of campsites. It's right on the lake. There's a nice little store, and bathrooms and showers, and you're able to, there's like a little kitchenette where you can cook. So I cooked some food last night, second dinner after the delicious spaghetti that I had, and it was such a great evening, and it just shows sort of what can come your way unexpectedly. What turned into sort of me being in a bind that evening ended up being an incredibly memorable night. So really huge, big thanks to everybody here for making that possible and helping me create some good memories. So stoked on that. But yeah, that was this evening. I'll probably end this here. I know I had mentioned doing a podcast on the constructive and mature use of nicotine. But I might save that for perhaps a separate episode, or just incorporate it in the next one. We'll see. So today I do have a bigger, not a bigger mileage day than yesterday, but still sizable. And I should probably get going because it's getting to be close to 11 o'clock, and I am doing a terrible job at getting to bed on time and getting early starts. So, oh well. But yeah, so heading up to hopefully Fargo, maybe crossing, depending on where I'm staying tonight, crossing into North Dakota. We shall see. And then the nicotine episode, which should be launching here soon. So, great. Well, until next time, ta-ta.